Okay, so today we're diving into a concept from the philosopher Ludwig Wittgenstein that sounds almost mystical, but it's actually hyper-practical. It's das Erlösende Wort.
Right, the redeeming word, or maybe better, the liberating word.
Yeah, liberating feels right. And our mission, really, is to understand how this word isn't some grand theory. It's more like a tool, a form of grammatical therapy, as he put it.
Mm-hmm.
We're pulling these ideas mainly from his later notes,
Mm-hmm.
the Not Class, his posthumous papers.
And it really represents a massive pivot from his famous early work, the Tractatus.
The TLP, yeah.
Yeah.
He went from basically demanding silence about logical limits.
Whereof one cannot speak.
Right, thereof one must be silent. To actually advocating for active linguistic intervention, getting your hands dirty with language.
Absolutely. But what's fascinating, though, is that the desire for that moment of clarity, what he called das Erlösende Wort, the one redeeming word, that was actually there much earlier.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Before the later period?
Yeah, we see glimpses in his secret diaries back in 1914, 1916. So even while he was deep in the Tractatus mindset, it shows this was, sort of a lifelong quest for him, always searching for that perfect phrase to just cut through the confusion.
Okay, so if this redeeming word isn't metaphysical, not some magic spell, how does it actually work, this linguistic act?
Well, it's described as the semantic key.
Right.
The key that unlocks the conceptual prison you've sort of accidentally built around yourself. It works simply by showing you the errors, the tangles already present in how you're using language.
So it reveals the mistake. It doesn't provide a new answer from outside.
Exactly. The mechanism relies on achieving what he called übersichtliche Darstellung.
Okay, that's a big one. Perspicuous representation.
Or synoptic representation, yeah. Basically, the redeeming word helps you rearrange the grammar of the problem so clearly, perspicuously, that the source of your confusion just dissolves. You see it instantly.
Like flicking a switch.
Almost. It's an immediate, intuitive grasp of where the linguistic mistake was. No complex deduction needed at that point.
And he had these great metaphors for getting stuck in these philosophical tangles, didn't he? They weren't just abstract errors for him.
No, very visceral. He talked about an indistinct intellectual disquiet.
Yeah, or my favorite, feeling like you have a hair on the tongue.
Right, that sense of irritation, something's wrong, but you can't quite locate it, can't logically pin it down or, spit it out.
It's just there, bothering you.
And that irritation, that whole burden, he insists, is entirely self-imposed. It connects to another metaphor.
The heavy ball.
The ascetic dropping the heavy ball, yes. The philosopher is straining under this immense weight, this complex theoretical edifice. But it's a ball they've been carrying voluntarily.
They could have just dropped it any time.
They were always free to release it. The liberating word just helps them see that freedom, gives them the clarity to let go.
Wow. Okay, so that really highlights the radical turn you mentioned, away from the Tractatus conclusion.
Definitely. The TLP ended with that famous image of throwing away the ladder after you've climbed it, reaching a point of silent understanding.
Right.
The Erlösende word completely rejects that. It says, no, don't be silent speak, but speak precisely to expose the grammatical error that's causing the problem in the first place.
But then, why use the word erlösen? I mean, to save, to deliver. That sounds so theological, so much like salvation, if he's aiming for a purely secular logical fix.
That's the crucial point. He seems to have intentionally secularized the term. He co-opted it. The salvation here is purely diagnostic. It corrects linguistic misuse. It doesn't offer any kind of cosmic redemption or, divine grace.
So it's therapy, not theology.
Exactly. And it relies entirely on ordinary public language, what he famously called Sprachspiel, language games, the shared rules and practices we all implicitly understand and use every day.
Okay, so it's grounded in the everyday.
Completely. Unlike, say, the divine logos in Christianity, which is seen as a transcendent source of salvation, or esoteric gnosis, which implies some secret, hidden knowledge.
Right, something you have to be initiated into.
Wittgenstein's word works entirely on the immanent plane, within language itself. It fixes confusion in our grammar. It doesn't claim to fix the cosmos or reveal hidden truths about reality.
It's like he's deliberately draining the religious power out of the word salvation and repurposing it for, logical hygiene.
That's a good way to put it. Logical hygiene.
So the key takeaway seems to be that this liberation comes not from silence, not from some external force, but from a clear-sighted, decisive refusal.
A refusal of the conceptual compulsions, yes. It's non-coercive. You see the tangle for what it is.
You realize the philosophical weight, that heavy ball, was always something you chose to carry.
Precisely. The word just provides that specific, necessary articulation for you to see it clearly and willingly drop the burden.
Which leaves us, and you listening, with maybe a final thought. Wittgenstein argued the redeeming word is specific, right? Contingent. You need the right phrase for each particular conceptual tangle.
It's not one size fits all.
So, what localized conceptual burden, what sort of heavy ball in your own thinking might you be carrying around today? So you could perhaps just drop. If only you found that specific, liberating way to articulate the confusion. Something to think about.